Alright, it's Monday, and we're going to prep some Pathfinder. We're going to prep some Stolen Fate. And that includes some Stolen Fate revisions. So, I'm loading up the game in the background. Going to grab our notes real quick. And, yeah. So, my group has decided that playing basketball for one session, not enough. Two session, not enough. I guess we're playing basketball a third session tonight. After we finish the third session tonight, we'll be heading over to the Harrowed Realm. There will be a level up. There will be some downtime. So there's absolutely no chance whatsoever that we're going to move on to any kind of fresh content tonight. From a prep standpoint, that feels pretty good. Couple things that we think might be happening. You know, Al Gore might be making an appearance as Man Bear Pig. So we need to get that sorted out real quick. Let's see. Man Bear Pig. Let's see. All right, there's no, there we go. So say there's no high def Man Bear Pig out there. All right, save as Man Bear Pig. Open it up. The photoshops. All right, and then we're gonna open active tokens, fates token. All right. That's weird. It's like a fresh reset token. It's fine. Grab this. Go over here. This. Here. Boom. Put them in there. Let's see. I feel like that works. Yeah. All right. Go here. Grab that. Okay. Now, I don't know if my players want to keep playing basketball. I've offered. I was like, hey, if you're tired of basketball, we could just, hand wave the rest of the basketball game. But they're like, nah, you gotta play some basketball. So I guess we're gonna play some basketball. Figure it out. Things are completely off the rails, more so than usual. So that's fun. Let's see. Fated, Man, Bear, Pig. All right. Cool. So what kind of stats does Man, Bear, Pig bring to the table, you might ask? I have no idea. We'll check the bestiary browser. I feel like a Goristo would be good if this was 5e, like a big old demon. But I don't know. Let's see. We'll make it level. Let's see. It could be large or huge. We'll do demon. Okay. Let's see. Close the sources done. All right. Levels. We want something that's on par with what they've got. All right, now Feshni, I mean, it's got the look. It's got the look for sure. I don't know about the rest though. What's this thing? Telepathy, abyssal spew. Not really feeling it. All right, what about beast? All right, we got psychic rat king. We got an Elder Sphinx. We got a Werdigo. What the fuck is a Werdigo? It's got a fork and a knife. It's just from April Fools. Okay. What if we did giant? Anything in this range? a Jotund troll. Jotund troll. Plague giant. Troll guard. Moon giant. Moon giant has eye beams and gravic control. Changes gravity in a 20-foot radius burst. I'm kind of into that. Weird spell abilities. Okay. Moon giants are among the largest humanoids, standing approximately 24 feet tall. They are enormous humanoids of many varieties who live across the galaxy. Oh, this is from Starfinder. That's kind of cool. Alright, what is this? Baroka. Giant humanoids, forests and swamps, swallow massive amounts of water to drain ponds and lakes. That's an ability. Greater constrict, deep breath, fear of crabs. Okay. Fucking weird. Hill giant butcher. Alright. Catch rock, menace spray, throw rock, twin butchery, wild swing, sneak attack. That's what we want. We want this hill giant butcher. Alright. So I'll drag it over. And we're going to change it to man, bear, pig. Okay. And go here. Boop. 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 Book 2 edits, I guess. Sure. Grab that. Select. Okay. How come you won't update your character art? You're killing me. Wow. What an asshole. Okay. Let's see. Soul and Fate. Actors. Book 2 edits. Man, bear, pig. Third attempt. There we go. Alright. Man, bear, pig. It's definitely unique. And link the actor. And good. Alright. Great. So we got that goofy shit out of the way. Alright, so they're playing the basketball. They're gonna finish the basketball. Let's open up our notes, see where we're at on these stupidly goofy rewrites that we're doing. Alright. Wild magic tracking, nothing to report, carousing tracker, blah blah blah. Okay, so last week we sorted out where them cards at, and I appreciated that. That was good. I feel like we went all the way through and we figured out where all the fucking cards were, and that's fantastic. So now we got Sigil, the City of Doors. All right. So we go back to scenes, and we got dashboard, and we've got book 2 edits, and we have Sigil, the City of Doors already built, ish, sort of. We got the city at least, and then they can move around on that. That's okay, I guess. Could be better, but not the end of the world. I think if we go in here and we go to book 2, there should be some art for Sigil besides this, or did we run out of time? I guess we ran out of time. Okay, so let's see. Sigil artwork, D&D. Probably went off on like a completely distracted tangent trying to figure out stuff. Planescape reveals cool new styles on the street, blah blah blah. Alright, so that's the art from the, I think, new gem screen. So we'll do Fates, that. I had talked about cracking the book open. Planescape shows off just how weirdly fun D&D is about to get. Sure. It worked out really good. for everybody. Let's see. Alright, so then we've got this here artwork from D&D Beyond, which I guess I'm not allowed to see because I don't have the book on D&D Beyond. Yeah, I guess the question comes down to, do we have enough to Theater of the Mind it without a bunch of visuals? Or no? I don't know. So I have the book behind me. I just haven't cracked it open. And there's a ton of materials online that we could go and harvest materials from. The question is like, how much? Hey, what's up? I'm Mr. V. What do we want to do in Sigil without derailing the campaign even further? So, that's a question. All right, so let's see if I've got any Planescape stuff in my Google Drive. All right. This is Codex of the Infinite Planes. Damn, going way back. Pathfinder books, puzzle books, first edition. Paladin in Hell, second edition. This is definitely, we definitely want 2E. So let's see what we got. 2E. I have 2 different folders for 2E. One is from a very long time ago. It has the 3 basic bitch books in there. Alright, then I have another one from 2E. Oh, alright. I have a lot of 2E folders. How is this happening? Alright, that one has nothing usable inside. Okay. What about this one? Ooh, Ninja's Handbook. It's just randomly cool to have in there. Let's see. Ninja's Handbook was a great book. Also empty. I kind of like want to burn my Google Drive to the ground and like start over, but maybe that's crazy talk. You can only have so many 2E folders before you're like, this is too many 2E folders. I got 2E Adventures. It's just got Paladin and Hell in it though. Alright, so apparently I have the physical books for 2nd edition Planescape and 5th edition Planescape, but I do not have the PDFs of either. I don't have a problem just running it out of the traditional book, so that's fine. A little surprising, because I thought maybe I would have these PDFs somewhere, but I guess not. All right, that is okay. All right, so what did we talk about with the Sigil adventure? The Wanderer wants to experience okay, political intrigue and power, masked by social decorum. 3 cards have been located in Sigil. The Wanderer, one of the libraries exploring belief-driven journeys of the city's factions. Okay. The traitor has made a bad deal and needs help getting out of it. Obviously, a devil or a Fey Lord are involved. And raising supporters in a bid to take over the city from the land. Okay. Those all sound fantastic. I think I could just run with that. Okay. So, what else is left then in book 2? kind of want to like mind map it out. I know I have like these new tools that I could be using in come on brain. World Anvil. Let's see. World Anvil. How do I set up multiple worlds in World Anvil? Alright. Toggle state, hard reset. I don't want a hard reset. Okay. So we got Skyhaven here, which is looking pretty cute. I am curious, are you allowed to have more than one world in the World Anvil? Let's see. World Anvil. Can I have more than one world on my account? Yes, you can have more than one world on your World Anvil account, with the number of worlds allowed depending on your membership tier. Free accounts can have 2 worlds, Masters can have 10 worlds, and anything above Master can have unlimited worlds. Ah, okay. So, I guess the next question is, how do I switch worlds? Okay. World Anvil. How toggle active world? Alright, to toggle your active world, click on the name of your currently active world, RPG character, or campaign located on the left side of the top bar. This action opens up a pop-up menu where you can switch to another world. Alright, alright. Whoa, 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 what am I looking at here? Skyhaven. Hey, new world. There we go. Okay. Let's see. This is Pathfinder 2E-ish. The state will be private. Sure. Create world. Oh wait, we need a world name. Okay. Stolen Fate. Stolen Fat. There we go. Stolen Fate Multiverse. There we go. Create world. Alright. Describe your world in a few sentences. I don't know if I got time for that shit. Well, I want to use this mind map tool. Where's World Anvil? How use mind map? I don't know if that's what it's called. World Anvil does not have a built-in mind map feature, but you can create mind maps using external tools that integrate them into your world. Aw, I thought... Oh, whiteboard. Okay, how use whiteboard? To use whiteboard feature, start by accessing it from the left sidebar menu under Advanced Tools. Expand your Advanced Tools. Nice. Calendars, Chronicles, Historical Events, Content Trees. Content trees? What the fuck is a content tree? Trees, hierarchies, and systems. Content trees are ideal for showing the relationship between articles in an organized visual way. Great for technology trees, magic systems, and ancestry trees. So do you actually have to have content to connect the content? Because that's rough. Let's see. Content tree. All right. Content tree title. Okay. We're going to call it book 2 content. That seems good. Yeah, that seems right. Select folder. I don't have any. All right. Now what? Learn more. Content. I did create a content tree. But I can't do it because I don't have a folder to put it in? Man, the amount of time that I'm going to need to sit here and grind this out, it's going to be worth it, but also like, the fuck. Okay, so we can't do a content tree then because we don't have the stuff to make the content tree. Alright, what's the other, what else we got here? Tables, to-do list, like that. Alright, whiteboard. Great for plotting. Your canvas for creativity. Whether you're concepting with mind maps or plotting your next great adventure. Whiteboards are an open canvas for your creativity. Connect your ideas and articles with lines, shapes, text, and post-it notes to concept your next masterpiece. Okay, I'd like to do that, if that's allowed. All right, book to mind map. All right, shift enter to submit. Hype. All right, we're in. We're in. Okay. So, I also want to open the real adventure. So, Stolen Fate. The real adventure. Feels kind of bad to say that. Okay. So, what's going on in the real adventure? Alright. Battle of the Harrow Court. Okay. So, how do I add shit? Just this? Alright. Battle of Harrow Court. Okay, so I dropped this content because they told me specifically that they were like burnt out on fighting bosses. They were like, please, no more boss fights. We need a break. So I just kind of like tucked this thing aside, and I've been having them work on other shit. Demons attack Harrow Court. The Prince of Wolves, one of the Unmatched, sent his troops to seize control of the realm. After defending their domain, the PCs receive an unexpected visitor who invites the group to Katapesh to form an alliance with the Pact Masters. I don't know, we don't need all that shit. Chapter 2, Cards of Ko. This is where they travel through the gates, I think. Pieces are arranged with good reasons to cut deals with the holder of these hero cards. Minions of the Prince of Wolves also target Ko with similar but less diplomatic goals. Sure, we're doing that. Harrowed Realm. The discovery that the Prince of Wolves used the Harrow Realm as a bridge to invade the Harrow Court gives the PCs an unexpected opportunity. By using their mastery of the Harrow, they backtrack into this realm and mount a reversal of the invasion. Aw, that's very nice of you, Dented Pockets. Thank you. Have a chance to recover several more cards in the process. Wolf's Den. The characters arrive in the Abyss, where they can finally take the battle for destiny to the Prince of Wolves in his fortress. Okay. Or by laying the prince low, only by laying the prince low, can the characters recover all the cards he has claimed and win the Destiny War. Right. Okay. Let's look in Destiny War. Wolves Den. What do you got? We got the Den. I mean, it's okay. Alright, who am I looking at here? We got Morgaran, Ornak, Zespardu. What are you? Vaz Morakil, the Prince of Wolves, and the Shadow Prince. Okay. Okay. And then what do we got in Oubliette? So in the Oubliette, we've got Ixirari. Alright, notes. Born of the souls of doomsayers and cult leaders who sought to undermine and unravel reality. Cat Paskiers are demons of nihilism and unmaking. Oh. Like, it looks fucking dope as hell. Like, that's awesome. Okay. And then what do we got over here? Maggot Pit. Okay. What? I'm curious. Level 18 hazard. Okay. All right. I'm kind of into the idea of using the Wolves Den. So what we could do is what? Okay. So let's see. Back to our mind map here. All right. So I like Wolves Den as chapter ender. I don't really like the other stuff that's in here. And then we got the advancement track. The Destiny War is designed for 4 characters. While each chapter is presented with the assumption of specific levels, it's likely the PCs will level up during some of these chapters, particularly chapters 2 and 3. All right, so they're going to be leveling to 15. All right, level to 15 after 3 of 6 gates. Okay. And then they're supposed to be level 17 by the end of the adventure. So we would do level to 16 after all 6 gates. And then level to 17 after going to hell. And book 2. Okay. Alright, so that makes sense. Alright. Start book 2 at 14. Alright. So that's the general progression that we've got. Alright. I feel like Wolf's Den could totes work. There is some cool shit to see and do in the official adventure. Okay. All right, and we've introduced Fate's Prophet. All right. The Shadow Prince. Variant Brainchild. Alright. The invasion of the Hero Court has not gone unnoticed. Those from whom the principals first learned the Hero Court take note when the invasion occurs and are impressed by the PC's ability to repulse it. Okay. Okay. Cards of Co. Yeah. Crystal Sentinel, Phantom Academy. Okay. Alright. We kind of have our hands full actually exploring, like, the most interesting and fun shit that's ever happened in media, but, like, I don't fault these fine adventures for what they are and what they were trying to do. I'm sure they were very cool. Alright. Recently flooded Upper City. Okay, love that. Less into that. Pit of Endless Night. Okay, so I feel like we just need a Hell Fortress map, right? Okay, so we technically already have one, and I could try to run it as close as possible. Let's see. Alright. Harrowed Realm. Harrowed Realm measures 84 miles across. Anything that passes through one edge appears on the opposite one. Much of what appears in the demiplane is a sophisticated set decoration for a theater. The sky is a literal blue dome, about 3 miles high, held by great pillars, blah, blah, blah. After a few feet of digging, soil gives way to rotten stage boards and corroded pipes. Okay. Hey, Bernaditte's in there. Alright. Male Storykin Raja Rakasha. Okay. He looks terrible. he looks rough. Like, where did all his teeth go? Alright. 10 poles for what must have been an enormous central tent. Staring bear. Shadow Circus once marks the center of the Harrowed Realm, serving as a sort. Now that I'm playing in the Harrowing, I am seeing, like, the connections to that original Harrowing adventure. I don't know if I'm feeling like I'm missing out too much, though. Let's see. Alright, then we got TikTok Peak. All Volcanic Peak. Realm residents once referred to this physical caldera, now the TikTok Peak, named after one of the former conspirators who has become a Velstrak. The volcano is visible from most locations. Characters who arrived here via portal do so at Area H1 and are likely the first to marvel at the view of the realm. Its immense artificial sky looming overhead. Shadow Giants. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Vorokosi. Okay. TikTok's having a rough time over there. Okay. And let's see. Garden of Grief. The Smith's Skull. Okay. Demon's Bog. Blah, blah, blah. Blood Pear Tree. Alright. Cannibalistic Echoes. Yikes. I mean, I know that they ate their the original master. He's agreed to help Molly to try and reset the Herald Realm by confronting Sonore. She can't be much help, but give a fair amount of magical supplies she's gathered over the years. This includes 6 greater healing potions, 3 panaceas, and a set of greater marvelous medicines, but the greatest gift she offers is a mysterious item that recently appeared in her collection of medical tools, the Midwife. Right. Alright, Marzali the Stitcher. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. She has seen better days, for sure. Alright. The Torment Theater. Okay. Sonore. Sonore looking rough. Alright. Sonore rises to the air to demand to know what they've done to her home, assuming they're part of the problem. Wow. The latest ruler of the Harrowed Realm, Sonore, has spent much of her time in this chamber, alternating between periods of morose introspection and fretful worry that a new disaster might strike any time. She's largely left the Harrowed Realm to run on its own ever since the Prince of Wolves used the Demiplane as a shortcut to the Harrow Court. But she is quick to recognize species as potentially linked to this disaster, attuned as she is to the Harrow and its themes. Okay. All right. So, I feel like I was gonna cut this content, but now that Leah's running the Harrowing and they're like really into the lore from the original adventure, could like pull this back in, maybe? Yeah. Wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Could also start shutting down some gates that like, and just say that the other side like got those taken care of, to sort of allow us to pivot from certain content to certain other content. So that's something I kind of want to explore too. All right. All right. Upon noticing, the Harrow Court and the Herald Realm are completely different demiplanes. They're not the same thing. Not variants of the same place, and not 2 layers of a shared realm. They come from different artifacts, have different origins, different inhabitants, and different narrative functions. Let me break it down cleanly for your brain. The Harrow Court is the PC's demiplane, and it is created by the Deck of Destiny, a freshly created demiplane linked to the PC's souls, defined in Book 1, Chapter 2, and Book 2, Chapter 1. It is explicitly a demiplane that rises from the deck of Destiny as the PCs gather cards. It is idyllic, structured, safe, and populated by simulacra, not real living things. It acts as PC's headquarters, leveling hub, downtime sanctuary, and portal nexus. It cannot exist without the deck of Destiny. It's a realm of fate being rebuilt. The Harrowed Realm, which is created by the deck of Harrowed Tales story demiplane. This is an ancient story realm created by Sonore. It is a demiplane based on the stories associated with the traditions of the Harrow. It was created long ago to grant immortality to Sonore. Instead, it's filled with Storykin, creatures who reenact tales. Storykin are living, unlike Harrow Court simulacra, but they cannot act outside their narrative loops and cannot permanently die. The Prince of Wolves uses it as a stepping stone invasion bridge to the Harrow Court. It's a realm of stories gone wrong, dangerous, unraveling, and weaponized by the unmatched. So what's the relationship between the two? They are built by different artifacts, populated by different beings, narratively opposite. The Harrow Court, order, destiny, reconstruction, PC's agency, Harrow Realm, chaos, corrupted narrative, external threats. Connected only because the Prince of Wolves forced a bridge between them. There is no indication anywhere that the Harrowed Realm is part of or an earlier form of the Harrow Court. They remain distinct throughout all three books. Okay. All right. So I like that. So we'll do this, and then we'll do this. Then we got Battle of the Harrow Court, and then actually, nope. We're gonna do Battle of the Harrow Court. Will come in here, and then we'll say that they figured out how to backtrack through the Harrowed Realm. All right. So I wanted to have some interactions where, like, the party would face down, like, what came before. I feel like maybe the Harrowed Realm would be the best place for that. So we could do, let's see, figure out how to backtrack through the Harrowed Realm, and then we'll say that while traveling the Harrowed Realm, opportunities arise to witness their own indelible stories and try to change them. All right, that seems solid as fuck right there. So then level 17, go to the okay, I like that quite a bit. That kind of brings that back in, brings this back in, this content, a bit more respectful of the source material. We've still got the 3 cards on the loose in Sigil. So originally I was going to say that they snuck in through like a different portal, because I didn't even want to mess with the Harrowed Realm, because I felt like it would be a little confusing. But I guess it's not too bad now. Alright. So, Battle of the Harrow Court. Then we'll go to Sigil. Sigil side quest. Wanderer can figure out how the unmatched are getting into the Harrow Court. All right, that seems solid. Then they figure out it's going through the Harrowed Realm. Then they travel through the Harrowed Realm. They have opportunities to do that shit, and then they go to hell. Okay. Solid. Seems good. Okay. So then we're going to enter book 3. Okay. So as we are entering book 3, all is lost in the land of Norns and reclaiming fate. So this is a very short chapter. Or not really short. It's just a short book because they're starting at level 18. Then they become 19 after completing 4 of the 5 complex encounters. And then right before the very end, they hit level 20. So it kind of works. All right, let's see what we wrote in our own notes about this book 3. Because we've got book 2 changes. Here you go. I actually already had all this mapped out if you look. 3 cards located in the sigil. Baddies attack. So the only difference is I could just swap these 2 out. There we go. Okay. And then Chapter 3, Harrowed Realm. Chapter 4, Wolves End, Literally Hell. The Prince of Hell, Woodchop, awaits. The characters arrive in the Abyss, where they can finally take a battle for destiny to the Prince of Wolves in his fortress. Only by laying the Prince low can the characters recover all the cards he has claimed and win the Destiny War. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we're fucking on track. Nothing's changed. I just remapped what we already mapped. Hell yeah. That, to me, is good. Alright, so in book 3... So book 3, All is Lost, Jack. Pressed by Loveless reveals the rest of the plot already done. Finish collecting available cards, including the ones carried by their evil selves. Use leftover cards as monsters in the challenges. The gates. Okay, so there are 6 more gates that have to be dealt with if we're keeping that story beat, which I enjoy. I think it's cool. Chapter 2, In the Land of Norns. Most of the cards are stolen. PCs receive an invitation from the Harrowing 3. The creators of the Deck of Destiny. They travel to Arisen and visit the Norns' home within the Tree of Answers. The remaining reconcilers are here to stop the PCs in a final confrontation. They must convince the Harrowing 3 to reveal the secrets to destroying the Deck of Destiny. Raven uses the power of the Harrow to imprison the Harrowing 3 within their inner chambers. This has thrown the realm and the service to chaos. 3 locks bind the inner sanctum and afflict the mind of the Norns, the minds of the Norns' servants. Each seal can be broken with standard counteracts or through ancient ritual battle. If Jack is still alive, he will pull a fast one on everyone and Betrayal the Betrayer, who is easy to betray because he is always going to betray. Anyways, he lets the cards get stolen, but hides the PCs and their allies in the cards. The characters learn that the stolen cards are held by Raven Nicoletta, powerful harrower. Important to seed Raven early in the adventure. I'm trying, bro. There's so many fucking people in this campaign. They journey to Varesia and locate the former home of a legendary figure. They need to reach Raven and stop her harrow reading ritual that could change Galarian's fate. Feels like your standard final dungeon situation. Agreed. So let's take a look. All right. So I almost feel like they could level up to 17 before going to hell. And then we could move hell to book 3. Yeah. I like that. So we'd move hell to book 3. Okay. So then, I guess over here, book 3 would be Hell Dungeon. All right. Let's see. So book 3 would be starting at 17. Then they've got the Hell Dungeon. Then they return to knock out those last 6 cards. Okay. Do we? I want to keep doing the portals because we got some pretty fun ones planned, and they're kind of like chill, kind of chill compared to the others. All right, reconcilers. They have any of the party do not already have, which we've already talked about. So the Uprising, Sweep Up Ultron, Robot Apocalypse. That's a whole thing. Then we've got Peacock, the Goose. We've got the Sickness, Spell Plague. Okay. So I like the idea that I don't want to do Spell Plague. So we could leave that one out. I got an idea. I really don't want to do any of these. Honestly. So, we already have a map for Sweep Up Ultron. We already have a map for this 15-minute encounter. Let's call it a 15-minute encounter. I like the idea that while they are down in hell dealing with shit, the other team completes the gates. Yeah. Okay. So, while in hell, ... 3 of 6 gates were completed by the opposition. Okay. So what would that leave behind? I like Starfall quite a bit because they just have to fly a meteor into the planet, which is hype as hell. So let's see. While in hell, 3 of 6 gates were completed. The Sickness. The Unicorn. And I guess we could just do Strength. We could just, yeah. All right. The Sickness, the Unicorn, and then Sweep Up Ultron. Okay. Yeah. That could work. All right, the Sickness, the Unicorn, and then if Jack's the Vision and he's not the Fool, then who would the Fool be? Is a great question. I like the idea that he is the Fool and the Vision, and we've done both this whole time. Okay. So, I guess we'll lose... See, I deliberately made all these relatively short, but I feel like opening the World Moon and the Sickness are like the longest one. So we could just say 2 of 6 gates were completed by the opposition. 4 remain. Nah. We'll do the Eclipse. The Eclipse. Okay. So we can just cut that content. Cool. All right, and then in that case, if we've done that, all right, so that leaves strength, sweet pup, Ultron, peacock, evil swan, and fool, resolve, Jax, doubts. All right. So that handles that. All right, and that will involve evil Jack. Okay. Right. Who is Fate's Herald, I believe. Fate's Prophet, excuse me. Okay. All right. Fate's Prophet. Okay. And now blah 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 blah. All right. So then there's the terrible moment where all the cards get taken by the betrayal or whatever. Okay. So cards taken by the betrayal. Betrayal? Betrayal? Y'all? Fuck. So when they clear Hell Dungeon, they could be 18. Yeah. Alright. Hit level 18. And then 3 gates, they could be 19? Maybe? Let's see what we got here. Pieces become 19 after completing 4 of the 5 complex encounters in Chapter 1. Okay. And they should be level 20 before starting Chapter 3. Alright. That's fine. So 17 before going to hell? Oh, I see the problem here. Alright. Side quest. This is the figure out while traveling back to the Hero Realm. Alright. And then they hit 17. Ah. Okay. Level 16 after all gates. Sigil side quest. Figure out how to backtrack to the Herald Realm. Traveling the Herald Realm. Okay, okay. All right, then I don't mind them leveling up crazy fast then. So let's see. Forever. Okay. All right, hit 19. All right. And then it do kind of suck that they're only going to be level 20 for the last chapter. Kind of feel like they should be stronger than that. Cards taken by the betrayal. And then Land of the Norns. Nope. Norns. There we go. And then that would be 20. But if we wanted to okay. So PCs rebuild the deck of destiny. The artifact's renewing power starts to manifest creatures known as Herokin into the world. One of these, the trader, guides the PCs on a journey across Galarian to locate the remaining cards. Just as they gather the final cards, Raven Nicoletta arrives to steal them away. Hey, what's up, Moonbear95? Making a oh ho ho laugh as she does so. Final price. Chance to haggle with the trader takes a few minutes. He reduces the map's price to 90,000 gold. Jesus Christ. Alright, the hunt for the Harrow. Travel all over the world. 6 Harrow cards, 6 things to do. I like that. Alright, looking for these different cards. The peacock is absolutely adorable as a cockatrice. That's amazing. Winged serpent, cricket. Alright. Tweaking the test. The test of destiny is intended to be a light and humorous event, but it is possible for some groups who prefer not to have to deal with alcohol themes in their game. Groups who want to substitute dessert drink for something else are encouraged to do so. The Herokin might instead be eating strange dessert animals like insects that are causing similar effects. Man, isn't it drugs at that point? Whatever. Okay. Sicken Doprilus. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright. So Mighty Bull guy. Recent Blast of Otherworldly Frost. Alright, the Eclipse, read the stars. Queen Mother looking fine AF, I guess. Looking great. Okay. Battle of Lies, the Courtesan. Alright. Meta knowledge. It's possible that some players at your table already know some of the stories that the guests are sharing. This will allow them to know whether or not the guest is lying without having to check. While normally it's important to try to keep the player knowledge separate from what the characters might know, this opportunity to reward a player for knowing the Lost Omen setting well, LOL. You could represent this player knowledge as a fun tidbit that the character knows. Characters might have heard tales of these figures as children or during their travels, just as real people occasionally know what seems like an obscure fact. Players might have known one of the guests simply by chance. A player recognizing the truth about a guest might lead to a fun moment at the table. Okay. That's pretty cool. In addition to turning into cards, these guys all turn into items too, which is pretty dope. Alright, then they track down the Harrow Troop. This very much was like, oh, we got so many cards left that they have to collect. Let's group them up, guys. Let's see. Alright, via Death-Defying Illusion, the joke, Losing Destiny. While the PCs were completing their search for the remaining hero cards, Raven Nicoletta, the last of the Unmatched, finalized her plans to gather the cards herself. When the Unmatched enacted their assault against the Harrowing 3, and the Scattering sent the cards across the world, Raven managed to surreptitiously snatch one of the cards before it vanished, the Betrayal. With this single card and her continued possession of the simple wooden case she built to hold the Deck of Destiny, a unique item she calls Destiny Case, Raven has the ability to call the cards home. As soon as the other 53 cards in the deck have been reunited together anywhere in reality, she's been biding her time, waiting for the PCs to finish their hard work of gathering the cards for her. She wasn't expecting the Hero Court to manifest, but she suspects incorrectly that when she reclaims the cards, that Demiplane's rule will shift to herself. In addition to this, Raven recently gained an unexpected ally from the Betrayal. As with the other cards in the adventure, the Betrayal manifested as a fabled Herokin, one with an innate understanding of where the rest of the Deck of Destiny was located, and one with an inherent desire to betray the deck's current owners. Once the PCs complete the prior encounters and reclaim all the cards they can, they'll know that the final card to be gathered is the Betrayal, yet they won't have the time to search for the card before it comes to them. When the PCs grab the last of the scattered cards, Raven sets her plans in motion. She casts Gates to create a horizontal portal in the PC's proximity, allowing several powerful demons to drop through and attack. Have the PCs and demons roll initiative normally, but before combat begins, all the Deck of Destiny cards the PCs have collected fly from their pockets, packs, containers to hurtle through the gate. Cards left elsewhere are drawn into the gate as well, even across planar boundaries. The entire process takes only a few seconds. Describe the events occurring to the PCs. Prepare to face their attackers. Despite stealing the physical cards they've collected, Raven's Gambit doesn't work as she hoped. Cards the PCs have invested at this time remain invested, though the cards themselves in their invested hand feel strangely flimsy and false, being duplicate shells left behind for the PCs to cling to, while the real cards return to Raven's possession. The PCs continue to benefit from their invested hand, but can't change which cards are invested until they regain them. As the cards are stolen, allow the PCs a one-time only opportunity to adjust their invested hand of cards so that they're not stuck with a choice they didn't expect to keep for the rest of the adventure path. Harrow Court experiences this event in the form of a devastating combination of earthquake, monsoons, volcanic eruptions, and thunder that devastates the land and leaves it in ruins. But the next day, the realm resets as normal. Simulacrum, who dwell in the Harrow Court, complain more often of nightmares and are jumpier and more nervous than before. But the demiplane otherwise remains unchanged, as it is as much the product of the PC's shared fate as anything else. Incarnated cards remain in full effect, and the PCs can still come and go via entering the Harrow Court. More importantly, Raven quickly learns she cannot enter the Harrow Court, a minor inconvenience that bothers her more and more as the adventure continues. The gate winks shut as the last card vanishes through it, allow the PCs a chance to glimpse Raven on the other side of the portal, holding open the Destiny case as it sucks in the cards. Raven gives an infuriating wave of her fingers as the gate closes, leaving the PCs to deal with several devastating fiends. Fearing that the PCs would follow the cards and find her, Raven called upon a number of demons to serve as a distraction while she stole the cards. The fight with the demons takes place at whatever locations the PCs were at when they claimed the final cards. As such, the encounter uses the map for that respective location. The demons' tactics might differ depending on the location, blah, blah, blah. Note that while this encounter is an extreme 18, it's likely the PCs have already hit 19 when this encounter takes place. If they're still 18th level, consider reducing this to a severe 18 encounter by removing one of the Puro demons. Alright. I know that that's like the most controversial and disliked part of this adventure is the betrayal, stealing all the cards. It's going to take some finesse to get that sorted out, but it is, in my opinion, a ways away before we need to worry about it. So for now, we'll just focus on, playing some basketball, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, I'm going to go have some dinner. I'll be back at 8 to run the game. Lexaeus 22 will be streaming the game. The VOD will be up later this week. I'll be back tomorrow night to prep some 7 Dooms for Sandpoint. And I'll be back Thursday to prep some Sky Haven. We're going to be utilizing World Anvil. I've started porting over all my notes to World Anvil, so I'm very excited about getting that big honkin' campaign sorted out. So, hope everybody has a great night, and I'll see you next time.